Welcome back to our channel. My name is Jasmine.
And I'm Dave.
And this is Engineered by God, where we navigate life from a Christian perspective. And today we're reacting to the last episode of Married at First Sight.
Right. So let's get started.
Right. Like we always do, going through each couple. But Johnny, you tripping, though. You tripping.
All right, so we're going to start with Johnny then?
No, well,
let's start with Johnny. I mean, you just said he was tripping. Let's just start with Johnny then.
Okay, so Johnny and Bao.
Right.
They ain't going to make it.
All right, I feel like they have some strengths and they have some issues. I think the strengths is Bao and the issues is Johnny. Because I feel like Bao does a very good job communicating her feelings. Like she hears what he says and says, based off of what you said, this is how I feel about this situation. But I feel like Johnny is constantly looking for issues, being nitpicky. And I think, here's the problem, right? I think Johnny is thinking about his entire marriage. So here's an issue. How does this fix, like, how do we make this work for the, like, entirety of our marriage? Right. As opposed to just going day by day. And, like, you're seeing why this guy had 100 dates. Because any little thing, like he was like, yeah, when you're happy, it kind of like turns me off.
No, listen, and we're gonna have to talk about that because I think there's some, things to that. But we did say that in one of the previous videos, and I was like, because he has so many first dates, he probably find any little thing that's wrong and just like, oh, on to the next one. That's exactly what he's doing. Like everything that he doesn't agree with, like the whole shower thing, because she doesn't want to shower before bed. Some people are, like weird about that, but I'm not. We're not. And so it's like, it just seemed like you pouting because she don't want to shower before bed, and he keeps saying we have all these little arguments, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we don't get on camera, but I'm just like, I don't know, he's just a little extra. So let's get into that session with Pastor Kyle, because
because like, so she was saying, if I remember correctly, she was saying that I feel like I had to initiate. I'm initiating the contact, the physical, which is kind of surprising because she kind of said that was one of her weaknesses in terms of a relationship.
And Johnny loves it so much.
Right. And so, but he was like, basically, anytime we kind of get into a space of intimacy, like you kind of have like these giddy moments, almost like childlike, and it turns me off.
Right. Now, I had so many feelings watching this, but one is like, I'm completely here for like the honesty, being straightforward, because if you don't say anything, then that's just going to keep damaging your relationship, right? So get it out in the open and say it. And I did like Bao's reaction to it, but it's like, that's just so hard to hear, because you're basically telling me like your personality, the quirkiness that you do, that not everybody gets to see, is like a turn off to me. I feel like you're a little kid, and I don't even want to be intimate with you, because like I struggle to kiss you because you seem like a child, and like I'm a grown woman, like I'm really a grown woman out here.
And it's like, typically in relationships, it takes a lot of time to feel comfortable to let someone see your goofy side, your silly side. And so when you finally do, and they tell you, hey, I don't like it, and it's kind of amazing that she's doing it so early on, because I mean, she has every right to be like, I'm only going to show him bits and pieces of me, and who knows how goofy she can get, but she's showing him a version of herself that I'm sure a lot of people don't get to see, and his reaction is like, I don't like it. And here's the thing, like you said, that's his feeling. That's how he feels about it. And he's having that conversation. But sometimes I get the sense that Johnny is just trying to make sure that everything is just perfect, so that their marriage can be perfect forever. And it's just like, let's have a good day together. Let's just, like the whole dinner scene where he's like, I need to go home and clear my space, like, and just take some time away. And like, I get it. Like in relationships, there are going to be times where you need your space, right? But in marriage, it's not like, hey, I'm leaving the home. Right. Like, we're married.
He said for a couple of days.
Right. And I think he came back the next day, ultimately. Yeah. But, I mean, Bao handled that incredibly well. If she had lashed out, I would have been like, yeah, you should lash out. Because that's especially over something that seems so trivial. It didn't seem like, hey, like, you're telling me, like, you're attracted to another guy. It's something like, I don't remember what it was. That's how small it must have been.
I think it was like 3 little things. One of them was the shower thing. I forget. There were like 2 other little things. But basically, it's just like things that he feels like they're tiny things, and he's like, no, this is a big deal for our marriage, and I don't know how I can move past it. So, I mean, he's annoying me, you know. Right. He's annoying me. It's hard because these are real people. I don't want to say like you're annoying. I don't like you. I don't dislike him, but you know, I'm just like, you're just being a little extra, and if you're gonna continue like this, then your marriage is definitely not gonna work.
And I wonder if he has some like, you know, fears or self doubts, and he's like projecting them, so almost like he's self sabotaging. Like before the thing drops or something bad happens, I'm going to make something bad happen first, like because it just seems extra.
I don't know if it's self-sabotage. I think he feels like I like to do things a specific way, and you're not fitting into that, and I don't like it. I think it's just as simple as that.
And the thing is, I feel like these people should be going through therapy before they join the show, because whatever the reasons were for him not being able to settle down with someone after 100 dates, that needs to be addressed before you got married to a stranger. You know what I mean? Like, you can't make it to a second date. You're going to marry a stranger. So, I don't know. Maybe there's some underlying things that we just don't understand about Johnny, and we're not going to get it because they only have so much content to show us.
I'm not getting you don't get no excuses from me.
Right. I don't know. I don't feel good about anyone. I feel like every single couple has like major flaws that can completely ruin them. But I do still have faith in Bao and her ability to communicate effectively, especially on like things that should, like, some people just react really emotionally.
Right. Like things. Imagine if Michaela heard that from Zack.
Right. Right. But she doesn't seem to take it personally. She seems to hear what he's saying and just express how she feels, acknowledge what he says, and says how she feels about it.
And she did acknowledge, like, yeah, this doesn't make me feel good, obviously, but, you know, it's your feeling, so we're going to work through it. And I like how Pastor Kyle handled it. I mean, I always like how Pastor Kyle handles things. All of them, really, all the experts.
Typically, yeah.
Yeah. But so far, she's my favorite woman in the show.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Before we go any further, if you're enjoying this video and you're not subscribed, what's going on? Hit that subscribe button down there. Click the notification bell so you know we post new videos. And of course, if you like the video, hit the like button.
All right, let's go to Zack and Michaela.
All right, going straight into it. Woo! Okay. I feel like since those first previews, we've all been waiting to see like what is gonna happen. I feel like this is like the initial glimpse of what's to come.
She definitely got a temper.
Right. So, first of all, I didn't completely understand the situation. So, it seemed like before they went to bed, he went to go put his dog to sleep.
In a separate room.
And fell asleep in there. Woke up, took his dog to the daycare, and then came back an hour or two later. And she
more than
2 hours later.
Yeah.
And in that time when he was gone, she woke up, realized that he wasn't there, slammed the thing of Clorox or Lysol, whatever that was.
She was trying to get in touch with him.
And then packed her stuff up and left.
Yeah, but she did say she called and texted him, but he didn't respond. Right. Which, you know, I would be frustrated about that as well.
You want to go first?
No, you go first.
For me, this is a situation where I feel like both people are more interested in being right than making the relationship right. I feel like Zack has to be dense if he can't understand why she's frustrated with the situation. like, are you serious? First of all, especially when you guys haven't been together this entire time, you finally have a chance to sleep together in the same bed, and now you're like, oh, I'm just gonna fall asleep with my dog, and when I wake up, I'm not even gonna say hi to my wife. I'm just gonna disappear. Like, dog, you have to be kidding me if you don't understand why she's upset.
Right.
Like, you're just playing. You're just
acting dumb.
Yeah, straight up. And at the same time with Michaela, and this is a thing that you learn as you grow in relationships, right? If someone wrongs you, that's not a pass to now I'm gonna wrong you back. Like, I'm gonna be disrespectful or talk like condescending or whatever it is. Like, because obviously 2 wrongs don't make it right. And I think that they just weren't hearing each other. At all. They just could not hear each other.
Right. And I wish they would have, or maybe they did do this during the session with Pastor Kyle, but I wish they would have just gone deeper into the actual event, breaking down the actual argument and the events that took place, and Pascal helped them to actually hear each other. Because right now, the way that it went, I still feel like neither of them heard what the other was really frustrated about in the argument.
Right.
And it just kind of went to this deeper underlying thing with Michaela saying, you supposed to be my protector. I felt abandoned by you. Mm-hmm. And relating that to the death of her dad. So I'm like, okay, I mean, that's fine, but like, when this happens again, y'all don't got no tools to really handle it again. At least from what we've seen, they can't obviously show everything.
And what it was is they haven't really addressed their expectations. She has a certain expectation that you're leaving the house. You're probably going to let me know where you are. Let me know what's going on. Mm-hmm. He has an expectation that I'm just going to leave and it's not going to bother her. It's like you guys have different expectations. They both weren't met and you guys aren't communicating. Hey, you didn't meet my expectations in this way. And I feel like they just didn't address it at all.
Yeah.
It's kind of ironic though, because before she was like, I'll never leave. Like if I get upset, I feel like that's abandoning. That's not right. You know what I mean? It's emotionally abusive. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, she has her bags packed, ready to go.
Right. Like, how you just going? That's so funny. Like, hopefully this don't happen again. I think the worst thing, really, when you're doing this experiment is when you don't give it 100%. Like, and when you decide, I'm just going to leave and go to my place, that I think that's the worst thing that you can do in this experiment because, we talked about it in another video, but how can I feel comfortable opening up to you when I feel like you're just going to leave when it gets hard? What kind of, that's no way to build vulnerability, build intimacy in your marriage. And y'all only got 8 weeks, know?
Right.
So.
I don't know. For me, though, I think a lot of people are going to point towards her because she had the whole scene where she got mad and packed up the bags. But for me, I'm really more upset with Zach. Because I feel like it's very clear why she's upset. And he was saying, I'm looking forward to our first fight. Well, here it is. And you're not really, like, taking any ownership in anything. Like, and I get it. Maybe you don't fully No, I can't understand it. In this big age, he's like 27, 28 years old. He's not a teenager. Mm-hmm. He's a grown man.
Mm-hmm. And, I don't know. I just feel like it's hard because she said that she reached out to him and he didn't respond. He says he came back at 9:15. She's like, no, and she was gone. And she's like, no, I stayed longer than that. And he's like, I texted you and told you. Like, I don't really know how much communication was happening while he was gone, because I think that is, if you leave and disappear and I can't get in touch with you, then she's valid to be upset.
Right.
But I don't know. That was like. That was not a good way to handle the thing. So I'm interested to see how their conflict resolution grows during this experiment. Hopefully it does.
I have no faith in it. Because if they couldn't get through that, which to me could have easily been communicated, they could have worked through that. And it would have been very good to see them work through that. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure when bigger things... Cause in every season, something big typically happens with most of the couples. So they kind of have to think, are we going to push through this?
Right.
And to me, that wasn't a big thing. And
it almost push through it.
Right. So, I don't know. We going to see.
We going to see.
But for me, going back to Johnny and Bao, if I had to guess right now, I'm going to say no. Mm-hmm. Going to Zach and Michaela, I'm going to say no.
Right. I agree. Okay. I agree with those. I think no for everybody, too.
I'm about to say, spoiler alert, there's 3 more no's coming.
All right, who we want to go to next?
Let's do Gil and Myrla. I feel like I mess up her name every single time.
I know. By the last episode, we might get it. All right. First, I want to start off by saying Gil is my favorite guy on the show so far.
Yeah.
And it's weird because when we first saw him, I was like, "He talking about these '90s R&B love? Get out of here! I don't know."
I thought he might be like immature, but he seems like he just goes really well with the flow. I feel like he's like the perfect candidate for this type of experiment. Mm-hmm. I feel like he can handle a lot of different personalities and try to see how he can make it work.
Yeah, he reminds me of myself.
Oh man. So the first thing I remember is, so there's 2 parts. Like when they went to his house and they met his dog. Like, girl, come on, just like you never seen a dog before. Sometimes I'm just like, yo, why did they pick her on this show? Like, I just don't understand what the experts be doing sometimes, because Gil he's having the perfect attitude that you can have. But so many of the other people that we've seen throughout this show would have lost their mind already. Like, who am I with? Why was I matched with you?
Right.
But he's just doing a great job taking it with stride, making jokes. Like, it seems like they have like a good little banter between them two.
You see, Johnny would have been gone. All right, cause you see when they went to the apartment and she just like Bao just like looking at everything. He's like, she's nitpicky or complaining. I'm like, you
have no idea.
Okay. But yeah, I definitely agree with Gil, and I think it's a little rude. I mean, it's very rude. Like, you're like, oh, he's smelly. Oh, I don't want to touch him because I'm going to smell. Like, come on, we don't have to be.
People love their dogs. So come on now. People
know.
consider their dogs family, and like, this is your first impression. Like, this matters to him.
Right.
Like, just because he's like taking it with stride doesn't mean that he's not actually upset about it. This dog matters a lot to him.
Right, and you see how well trained that dog is. The dog came in. That dog wanted to hug you, give you love. He was like, "No, go sit," and the dog went to go sit.
Right.
Like, I don't know a lot of dogs that just come in when they see a new person, like they don't get excited, or they get excited and well, basically he got excited, but he listened to what Gil,
the dog's name is Hype, and he was mad calm. A little corny joke there.
Very corny.
But then when they went to her place, so here's my thing. Maybe it's a little shady, but like, she's a big spender, right? I'm not gonna say that. Say it. But it's like, yo, how about big spending on a house, maybe?
It's funny because she talked about all the shoes and stuff, and he's like, that money need to go into a house. And then in Gil's confessional, he's like, that money need to go to a house.
Like, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, if you got it, do it, right? But obviously, I don't know her life. If she decides she wants to rent, that's what she wants to do. But still, it was a little funny thinking about how much she spends, like, on shoes, for example. Like, you can tell, like, she spends a lot of money. So you're kind of expecting that her place is going to be like, not to say he has an amazing place, but like Jose, for example, how he's so hype about his house. Like, you would have thought, like, you'd have walked into her apartment, it'd been like this lavish place. It's like, no, all the money went into the closet.
Yeah, definitely. And that's not.
That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to do. You're single. You're living by yourself. But I just want you to recognize that now you're married. Now you guys are a unit, and you can't just be frivolous with the money, And you're saying, yeah, I save first, and then I buy myself. But now your finances are a little bit different now. So not just being quick to say, oh, I'm going to continue to spend like I spend on the things that I want to buy, and be more willing to say, yeah, we'll see how it goes, and I'll adjust when I need to adjust.
And I know we're like going hard on Myrla, but the real villains are the experts. Why are you matching these two people together? Like, so many times they do this opposite thing, like where they get someone who like likes to spend a lot and someone who only saves, and they try to put them together and it doesn't work. And you're like, wow, I didn't see that coming. I'm like, what? Like, I can understand someone who likes to spend a little and someone who likes to save a little, but like someone who only wants to spend and someone who only wants to, like, how's that? Yeah. That matters a lot to people. Like, that's a core thing, like their finances, how they handle money. And now they're going to be one unit and they got to handle the same money together.
Yeah. I mean, and like I said, it wouldn't be that big a deal if she seemed like she's more willing to be flexible, but she doesn't seem flexible. So that is very worrisome.
But let's get straight to the Pastor Cal thing.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm about to say next. Because Gil was like, listen, if we go 8 weeks without having sex, I'm fine. But if we go 8 weeks and you don't even kiss me, we're getting a divorce.
And what are we talking about here? A little peck? What are we talking about? Kids spin a bottle and kiss a random kid in their class. This is someone you just married. Like, what did you think was going to happen when he got on the show?
Right.
You wasn't going to kiss this person for 8 weeks?
Every time she talk about, we still strangers, like, y'all not strangers no more, okay? The definition of stranger, you're not strangers. You're not strangers, and my thing is, okay, you can't use the strangers thing when you get married to this person. You can't keep using the strangers excuse. I understand you not want to have sex, that's fine. But a little kiss is just like,
And the thing is, you guys were strangers, but put into work to get to know them,
Y'all
right?
just went on
Put
a
in the work
whole
for the intimacy, like
honeymoon.
right.
Yeah, and put in the work. Put in the work. And she's like, I don't know.
But I'm glad that he
But
communicated that though, because at least now she knows. She knows where he stands, and he's been clear about it. So now they can see how that is going to go moving forward.
And who knows, maybe, in the next couple of episodes, she will end up kissing him. Because they did say that the touching, the touchy side of her has come out a little bit more and been a little bit better, since they started. So that's progressed. So maybe this area will progress too. And she says she's slow in that area. But once she builds that intimacy, she's really touchy, really loving, and whatever. So we'll see. I hope, because my man, he need a kiss. All right.
Just a little kiss.
Just a little one. Just a little one.
But I'm saying no on them two. I still have no faith. That's 0 for 3 so far.
Yeah. But Gil, I like you, man.
Right.
All right. Let's go to Ryan and Brett.
Okay. This might be the most boring couple of this show right now.
I
Right?
was just looking to say.
Like what? Like you?
I
Like you
can't
go a whole
remember.
episode, you forget they was even on it.
I know.
I remember
Oh my
the
gosh.
deer on his thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, because it seemed like the main thing about them is that they have differences in just the way that they do lifestyle. Like, he's a country guy, she's a city girl. It's pretty clear that he's a conservative and she's a liberal, and it's like that opposites and how they're gonna mesh their lives.
Yeah. But I think the thing with them is we don't really get a good glimpse into like we know they have these differences, but we don't really get a glimpse into how they're going to tackle these differences yet, or how they come up in their relationship yet. I feel like they're one of the couples that's the most surface level.
Yeah.
And so I think it's hard to really kind of judge or see how they are going to be. Because they're still like in the stage where like,
it still
we
feels
have
like
a crush.
first date.
Yeah. I really don't remember any major things that happened with them.
Yeah, they saw each other's homes. They were kind of fine with it. She had her own style that he liked, and he had his style. She was like, "Yeah, he has like 50 Shades of Brown here," which is kind of funny. But
Yeah, he really did.
I mean, I think it's good that one, she did say, "I like you," and I think he kind of said it like, I could see us getting even further than that.
Yeah,
which is good.
I think I guess thinking about it, the only one thing it seems like he's the most kind of apprehensive about is just her kind of over worrying about specific things, like when she seemed so focused on the dogs not getting along and how that would impact the relationship. But I don't think we've really seen a lot of that from her from the footage. I think we just more so hear about it from his side. So I don't know.
And I don't think that's a major thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's a major thing. I'm just trying to think of one area where I thought that came up that we could see physically. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. They seem to be coming on and we feel like a commercial break. I'm like, dog, this is boring.
Commercial break.
They just don't be having, and they be trying, but they don't be having nothing to talk about.
Well, they said they do talk.
I can't tell.
They seem like they like each other, genuinely like each other. So I appreciate that. I like that.
I'm still gonna say no on them too because I don't trust any couple this season. It's over I don't know why, but maybe because they're just so boring.
Listen, I mean, it's hard to trust any couple, especially after Amelia and Bennett, they broke it off. It's like, now, what's the hope?
All right, last couple, Jose and Rachel. For me, Jose, he seemed like a sweet guy, but sometimes I don't like him. Honestly, sometimes I don't. Like, sometimes I'm just like, yo, calm down, dog. Like, just relax a little bit.
He definitely lives by the, if you don't, toot your own horn, there'll be no music. That's how we go.
Yeah. Let's start with when they went to her place.
Okay.
Yeah, because I thought that she has a pencil for every place she's been. I think that's pretty cool. And he's like, so what are you going to do with these pencils? Dog, just calm down, dog. You got 2 houses. You got space for a couple pencils, dog.
She's like, I can't have my own desk.
Goodness.
Like, you be an extra. It's a memento. It's a keepsake. People do that. Like, people travel. They do that. But he don't like to travel, so.
Goodness.
I don't. That's a whole nother thing.
All right. I'm sorry. We got to talk about them as a whole. Because here's the thing. It's on some levels they are really strong. It seems like they connect on the physical intimacy. It seems like they're strong there. It seems like they are fine to talk to each other about things. It seems like they just like each other.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It seems like they just like each other. But there's some things that I feel like are that are gonna cause friction. Jose wants to be in control, and he assumes that his version of control is the best version, right? Whatever, like especially financially, right? She still wants to hold on to her independence, and she wants to be able to experience life. And the main thing that's going to cause a lot of friction in that is the money aspect, because she wants to do stuff that's expensive. She wants to go travel, experience things, and he's just like, the whiteboard, whatever that whiteboard says, that's what I'm doing.
I know he's so uptight. Like,
and that whiteboard was basic, dog. It was just your basic bills. What's so special about this?
But she's like, oh yeah, because she's traveling next month, and he's like, you talking about traveling? You want to go to? I think Japan was one of the places that she went, and he's like, that's a lot of money, but we want to have. You need your card. We could get a new car. We want to buy a house. We want to have babies. Like. That's so far away, guy. You're gonna save for those things.
I just don't understand like that mentality. I get it. Like it's smart to say, it's smart to have like goals with your finances. But part of your goal should also be like to use some of those finances to have fun and enjoy life. Like I feel like this is an example of opposites that could help each other, because he doesn't seem to have any idea of what the rest of the world can be like and enjoying life, right? And she's admitted she's not good with saving, and like they could help each other. Like he can be like, what fun thing can we do? And she could be like, hey, how can we best save our money? And they could help each other. But I don't know.
I just don't understand when people don't have any desire to go see other parts of the world, Like, to me, that is such an amazing thing that we can do. We got planes now, it don't even take that long.
Especially when you have the means to.
When you have the means, dude, you got 2 houses, okay? You can go. You can go. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like, so why are you storing up all this money for what? Like, you need to be able to do things and experience and use it and have
especially before you guys have kids, like, because I seem like they both want to have children, like, guys are there together, enjoy it. I mean, I don't know. I think the reason that I'm still gonna say no. I still like no for everybody. If someone says yes, I'll be surprised and I'll be happy. But the reason that they could be yes is I just feel like they just genuinely like each other and will have a desire to figure it out. As opposed to, like, for example, Zach and Michaela, when they were beefing, I could not tell they liked each other anymore. You know what I mean? Like, but it seems like even when they're disagreeing, he wants to make her happy. Ultimately, it seems that way. And she wants to be with him, it seems like, ultimately.
I think, if anything, she's more willing to compromise him in the financial aspect. I don't know if he's as willing to compromise, because she got a trip already booked, and he's like, I don't know if I'm going with you on that. That's expensive. To me, that's like not even a compromise. Like, come on, guy, it's already booked, and you don't even want to go with your wife. So that's weird. So I think he's going to have a little bit more trouble in the compromising spot, which would make way more friction. But, And
the thing is, too, I don't think he's not saying this with his words, but I think that unintentionally he's kind of communicating, I'm better than you.
Oh no!
You know and she said it right as like, hey, I'm not gonna take this trip because I know better than you, and that you can only take that for so long before you're like, listen, you can be better than me, single. We can just leave, you know what I mean? We can just go our separate ways at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I want him to do good. I don't like when he be touching her too. Like, he be patting her hair. So like, I don't know. Like, for me, I don't mind a little bit of PDA, but like when it's over the top, just like, get a room.
But it's not PDA because they in the privacy of their own home.
I don't know.
He
be seeing the camera. He be like, yo, zoom in on me patting her hair. Zoom in on this. I'm like,
they be annoyed. Oh goodness.
I don't know.
But yeah.
I don't know. I what else did they talk about with Pastor Cal besides that? That was like the main thing.
Yeah, I think it was the main thing.
He was pretty proud of his house.
He was very proud of his house.
I wonder if the tour, like, you know, when they do that editing thing where they make it seem like people are talking on and on. I wonder if he was really that bad, or they just trying to like paint it that way. But I can imagine him being like, so this was built like this in the 18th century, and like just going through
He seemed like that type of guy.
Yeah.
But you know, editing is marvelous. So, but yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I don't have any other major things. I'm just waiting for it to get, you know, juicy. And nobody really wants to say that because these are people's lives. But
this is like been the most boring, you know, season I've watched ever.
Really? You think so?
Well, no, there was one more. There was one season that was
there
was
was
worse.
one season that was like
terrible.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
Just skip to the end.
Which is probably better for the couples, but yeah, it was just like actually not all the couples ended up.
I think only one couple from that season stayed together to this day.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that was good. So let us know what you guys think. Who's your favorite guy and who's your favorite girl in the season so far? I want to know. So
right.
Let us know.
Especially if you're still watching, because most people have clicked away at this point.
Right. So if you're still watching, then give the video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, then join us, subscribe, and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys next time.